welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and it is good of you to join us on this lovely evening for a healthy dosage of Heroes of the Storm. We are playing the Heroes of the Storm tournament here, and it's really heating up here. The final spot in the Epic 8 will be clinched by one of the Super 16 teams in our final match of the day. Get hyped. With me here is Jester, I'm Grubby, and we're so happy to bring you this cast.
I'm totally ecstatic to see who's actually going to be the last entry here for our Epic 8, because we've had so many phenomenal games, so many of these great players, both new and old. I'm definitely taking down a list of some of these guys. I got to go find them out there and just talk to them about Heroes of the Storm, because so many great strategies and so many deserving entries, but only 8 teams can move on.
Yeah, definitely some of these players here will probably have storied careers in competitive gaming down the road in Heroes of the Storm. But a lot of talk about Heroes of the Storm. What is this game exactly? It's a wonderful game made by Blizzard, and we have a lovely video to show you here exactly what it's all about.
Welcome to Heroes of the Storm, Blizzard Entertainment's action-packed team brawler. Players can choose from a variety of Blizzard heroes, each with unique strengths and weaknesses, to create 5-player team compositions that support versatile strategies. These strategies are then put to the test on a diverse set of battlegrounds, each with their own unique objectives. Hire the Ghost Pirate Blackheart. Summon a powerful Grave Golem. Every battleground is different and presents a unique environment for competition. However, the criteria for victory is constant. Destroy the opposing team's core. Heroes will grow in power and talent over the course of a single game as they take out minions, enemy fortifications, and of course, the opposing team's heroes. Your effectiveness at teamwork and collaborative play will make or break you.
All right, that is what the game is, and that's what they'll be competing in. Is who competing in? Kansas State University. They call themselves the Wildcats, and they're going to be going up against the University of California, Berkeley. They call themselves the Golden Bears. Here is the Super 16 bracket. We're down to the final and 8th round of the day, and one of these will be going on to the Epic 8, where they will play a next round next week, also on ESPN3, and are still in the running to get one of those prizes, namely the top 2 winner teams who will earn free tuition for their college career.
And don't forget, bragging rights to say that they are the heroes of the dorm. But we had a lot of great matches today. Of course, Boston, Western Ontario, we saw them a little bit earlier. Texas A&M, Arizona State, the big favorite coming in the number 2 slot. And Indiana beating out Rutgers. That was a heck of a match because we had a Murky in that one. It was phenomenal. Connecticut came out strong up against Illinois Urbana, and now Washington has advanced over UC Irvine.
Yeah, that's what's happening here. So the final 2 teams here, Kansas State and California Berkeley, they'll be going up against each other. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at who is representing these colleges, these teams, the 5 players behind the team.
All right, so we are going to be starting off here with Kansas State University. Sin Junkin, Kansas Mafia, do not cross him. The Adokun, Danik, and Barathor are going to be the 5 players representing the Wildcats as we're jumping into this first game of the best of 3.
And the University of California, Berkeley, they will be represented by 5 brave souls as well. Panda Jigu, Ultimated, Zero, Fan, and Co.
Now, avid watchers of Heroes of the Storm will recognize at least 2 of these names. Panda Jigu and Fan have been in the Alpha, the Beta. They have done multiple tournaments, not together, but they have definitely a lot of competitive experience. This is the number 1 pick to win the entire tournament.
Now, I think we recognize 2 of those players there. Fan, he is a storied player. He has a lot of experience, put out some videos out there instructing how to play Heroes of the Storm. Watched it with pleasure. And Conan Ko Liu, actually, he goes by another alter ego, which is Sappy. I've actually had the pleasure of both practicing with him and competing against him in StarCraft 2, another amazing game of Blizzard Entertainment. And now he has made the switch seemingly to Heroes of the Storm. And it will be good to see how a strong solo individual player will be able to perhaps teach some of the things that he learned in online competition to his allies, to his brethren, and that is maybe why, part of the reason why they are why there's such high expectations and hopes on their team.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype going behind these teams, but I mean, you said it, Suppy with the StarCraft 2 background. Traditionally, though, that is more of a single-player solo experience. This, however, does depend upon your team. It is a team league game. It's not a solo adventure whatsoever. You have to work with your team, communicate. The big expectation here is that Suppy can do that. He has the training, but does he have the practice? That's what I personally am going to be calling into question, and it's him to really show me and the rest of the picks out there. Because, I mean, I put out Arizona State. I said that they have the experience. They've definitely been together longer, but there's no denying the hype behind Suppy, Panda Jigu, and Fan.
So do you think that Kansas State University is shaking in their boots going up against these players?
It's a heck of a pick. I mean, to go up against the #1 hyped up team, that is a lot of pressure. We're going to have to see if that gets to Kansas or not in this first game.
All right. We will be going on the first battleground here, Cursed Hollow. That is the battlefield that they will be playing on. And, well, there's a little video that we can show you here about how that battleground exactly works and how to leverage an advantage.
All right, if you guys are just joining us, this is the Battleground overview for Cursed Hollow. It's a big map. There's 3 lanes to cover, which means you're going to be looking for early splits to gain that experience. What are you going to do? You're going to curse your enemies by bringing together tributes and collecting them. A set of 3 is a turn-in for a curse. A curse will disable infrastructure from firing back, as well as reducing minion hit points. What else is on the map? 6 mercenary camps for your pleasure. They will go into those lanes after you conscript them and enlist their aid, and it's all about those grave golems. They are very big objectives. You're going to see a lot of fights around them, but between curses, mercenaries, and fighting up against your opponents, you're going to look for the kill on the core.
Yeah, now you can't... yeah, those grave golems will be a major point of contention, but you can't play a game without any heroes. And how to get heroes is actually a really interesting part of this genre of games, of these team brawlers. There's actually a dynamic picking phase where Kansas State and Berkeley, both of them are going to pick heroes in turn. We've got one pick here for the Wildcats. They go with Diablo. Now is the choice for the Golden Bears to take 2 heroes. Not only will they be choosing them to play with themselves, but it's also taken away from the enemy. So there's a lot of strategy, and we won't even be able to tell you everything that's happening here, but we will do our best to crack the egg.
All right, so Kansas State, they come out swinging first. They're going to grab that Diablo, a really nice front-line hero for the Wildcats. But on the flip side, the Golden Bears from Berkeley are going to say, we are taking this Illidan, and this is a gutsy pickup from Berkeley. If you cannot get the proper support for an Illidan, he might actually start falling a little flat. We've seen multiple successes with this hero, but we've also seen some fails.
All right, the next one is being picked, Jaina. So we don't see that support happening right away. There is an opportunity here for the Wildcats to take some of the best buddies, some of the best support to Illidan away from the Golden Bears here. What the Golden Bears have done is to take some of the primary damage dealers. And you know what? Wildcats say, we don't want to necessarily take away your picks. Perhaps that's exactly what you expect us to do. What we want to prioritize is that we get some of our own strong damage dealers. They go with the Vala, and then they go with Uther.
All right, so yeah, with the Vala Uther, again, we're setting us up very nicely. All 3 roles, well, at least all 3 of the vital roles are definitely represented here from the Wildcats. They've set themselves up for anything at all for those last 2 picks. We're going to have to see what they will counter with, but the Golden Bears, they get their turn, and Tassadar is definitely one of the best buddies there of that Illidan. And to go with that, ETC, you're going to be looking at a really high aggression from that Elite Tauren Chieftain in conjunction with the Illidan, because they are both going to be looking to jump into fights early on together.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be going in together, and this diverts attention from the opponent. Now, Uther was picked. He is the support and the healer for the Wildcats. It means they need a little bit more damage. They had every role represented. They're going to be going with the Zagara. And we saw in the last game just how devastating it could be in the hands of the University of Washington when you have a Zagara player on your team. You can spread creep tumors all around the map and get a lot of vision. A very powerful pick here on the Cursed Hollow.
Yeah, I saw that creep spread. That was absolutely fantastic in our
disgusting.
last round. See, especially coming from StarCraft. Yeah, I can definitely see the reactions coming out from you here, Grubby. But Kansas State is going to finish off there with the Tyrande to go with that Zagara. And again, that's definitely a very powerful augmentation here, not only to the damage of Zagara, but Vala, and overall as the double support. We've been seeing that time and time again today from not only just the Wildcats, but a lot of the winning teams have taken double support comps. Now, Berkeley, they have their last pick, and once again, we are seeing that double support. And again, if you get that support for Illidan, we have not only Tassadar with the shields, but now we have some great burst healing coming out from Suppi on Rhaegar. That is a very terrifying support for Illidan.
Yep, and it was actually left up by the Wildcats from Kansas State, so they were actually okay with them having it. It's a kind of confident approach to this game.
I'm not entirely too sure they're going to be okay with it, but it's a bit more that Rhaegar didn't fit into the comp. I mean, they already had the Uther ready to go, and those stuns, those lockdowns are going to be vital for that Illidan. Taking the Tyrande afterwards, it's all about trying to get off the lockdown into the big burst damage to remove him from the game.
All right, let's find out how that works out, Jester, as the game has been started. Berethor, Zenissin, Adokun, Sinchunkin, and Kansas Mafia having a bit of a dance here. Called the calm before the storm, if you will, because the gates haven't been opened yet. 10 seconds. That was the blue team for the Wildcats from Kansas State.
Now on the flip side, Cal Berkeley, the Golden Bears. This is a team that has a lot riding on its shoulders from predictions, but Zero in the top. Looks like Fan going to be holding down the mid, at least for now. Panda Jigu, Suppi, and Ultimated are looking for a bottom lane entry.
All right, here we're going. Bottom lane entry, 3 versus 1. Berethor starting to spread out those creep tumors, but was revealed by Ultimated already, his trait to reveal a large area around him. And this means that Zagaro's routed. She's all the way on the left, doesn't want to stay there. Once she got found out, she cannot be so aggressive anymore by placing these creep tumors at very contested locations. Actually doing a check there in the bushes with the Roachling drop, the drop on, to make sure that everything is okay there.
Now, Berethor left to his own devices is not really going to be able to do much for this lane. That's why you see the support now coming down here. Zenison and Adokun are going to be here looking for this gank.
Oh, Diablo goes in the Tyrande there, trying to follow up with the Lunar Flare, but it was a miss. Had she hit it, Panda Jigu might have been taken down there on that Jaina player, but it was a miss. Keep in mind, Diablo and Tyrande, they are a roaming composition. That means they're going to roam around the map and trying to get early kills here. Fan, he's on his horse. He's just gathering experience there without going off his horse, but he goes a little bit forward. In comes the Shadow Charge. There goes the overpower. Lunar Flare goes down. Hunter's Mark, Sentinel, but Fan does not sustain critical damage. He will stay alive. And 2 of the attempts of an early hunt by Kansas State University, the Wildcats they call themselves, has already failed.
Yeah, they haven't really found the results that they're looking for, but they go right around the corner and come on back in. And now Fan, he's going to be once more. This target, the stun combo does not land once more. And we're sitting now 0 for 3 on the Wildcats. Fan is absolutely having the time of his life zooming all around this lane, but he has attracted a lot of attention from Kansas State, which means that the bigger hitting lane of the bottom for Cal Berkeley should actually be getting some work in.
Here comes another Shadow Charge. Lunar Flare is effective this time, but there was not enough follow-up. Number 4 off the combination, and once again foiled. Are they mis-executing it? Or is perhaps the Golden Bears team from Berkeley actually too good at defending against it? Are they too chill? Do they laugh at the face of danger?
Well, we do have level 4 now here for Cal Berkeley, so they have taken a little bit more of an advantage going back and forth because they haven't really given up any of those takedowns. Zero in the top lane. You see here, Kansas Mafia, not exactly having the time of his life. Zero just laughing all the way to the bank because if Kansas goes way too far forward, could find herself in an ambush situation.
Yeah, and that's exactly what should be on both of their minds, but unbeknownst to Zero, here comes the Diablo and the Tyrande. Lunar Flare, but actually Zero did a power slide away. Zenithsin is getting stunned out. He could not do the overpower. It means that the Lunar Flare from Adokun also didn't hit. They're not really able to make this work yet. Now, this isn't an end-all be-all situation. They would like to have that early game advantage, but it's not like they scale so poorly into the late game that they don't have value with these heroes. But certainly, they would have liked to get more out of it, Jester.
And now with this roam coming down from the top into the bottom, it does look like Barathor is going to be able to secure the tribute here for Kansas State. And that was actually relatively uncontested here from Cal Berkeley. It doesn't really look like they put a lot of emphasis on trying to contest that. Instead, we have mercenaries, and now looks like a little bit more of an engaging the top.
Okay, there's a bit of a fight here. Fan was trying to capture the enemy watchtower, getting a bit of vision, but he will be chased out aggressively. Will be saved there by Zero and ultimated on the Tassadar player. 3 in the top lane for Wildcats from Kansas State, 2 at the bottom. That means that right now there's no one in the middle. Tyrande will be pulling there towards the middle, even as Illidan is starting to take that bruiser camp there.
Finally Tyrande now is going to come down here. Same with a few more of her teammates here as well. But you know, we always talk a lot about the experience gained early on. It is vital that you have somebody in these lanes gaining experience, because you see level 7 now achieved for Cal Berkeley compared to the 6. That means in these races to 10, that's actually going to be favoring Cal Berkeley.
All right, another attempt here. Oh, no, okay. Diablo and Tyrande, they were feigning to go to the bottom, but right now they'll go to the top. They got revealed, though. We've got that clairvoyance, that far side from the Rhaegar, able to reveal an area on the map, and that means that Diablo and Tyrande have been shown, they've been caught. Another one being used there for the blue team. They see that bush is empty. Oh, Kansas Mafia on the Vala getting taken down, and there is a takedown for Golden Bears.
That's going to be the first takedown of the game as well. But we're not done yet. Cal Berkeley is actually going to be chasing down Adokun on that Tyrande. She doesn't have a lot of escapes. And again, Zero and Fan are going to be jumping into a lot of these fights side by side. They actually could even still go here on top of Sin Chunkin. He cannot get away from this. Fan is just always in his face, in the front of him. And that is going to delay that retreat. And you see now the ethereal form. And just like that, 3 takedowns, Scrubby.
Just like that, man. It started with the 1, and then they pushed so far into enemy territory. I'm really surprised by that. They got that Sin Chunkin, and now of course they can pull all the way back, get that tribute. There's no one left to contest that, and it's now a 1 tribute each.
Now Zenithsin, he's going to throw Fan over his shoulder, but there's a lot of teammates here of Cal Berkeley to support out Fan. He's going to be A-okay. There's not really going to be a big death right there, but it's still damage and pressure. That's the name of the game, and the Golden Bears are very close to heroics on the back of that push as well.
Yeah, they have reached it quicker than any game we have seen today. The 3rd tribute is not even spawning yet, and they are about to reach level 10 just in seconds. They're congregating here at the bottom. Sapi, Fan, Panda, Jigu starting to take down that tower. Boom, tower's dead. Gave them the experience they needed, level 10. So what does this mean for the next tribute spawn?
It means that if we do put up a presence here from Cal Berkeley, there's just absolutely no way Kansas State can stick around. They're going to have to give it up. What they should be focusing here is trying to spread out and not engage. They need to try to grab as much experience as they can to bridge this gap, because without those heroics, we're down at a big disadvantage when it comes to a fight.
Yeah, and I'm very surprised that actually they're not aggressively seeking out a fight. They're so cool and composed here. Illidan there, the fan on Illidan, he started capturing that Siege Giant. They were in no rush to get this tribute yet. Now we've got the Siege Giants pushing at the bottom lane. In the meantime, Zero and Panda Jigu starting to push at the bottom, about to be joined by Tassadar there, played by Ultimated. And they're actually doing a large push at the top, while the Siege Giants are pushing at the bottom.
We have, again, a lot of pressure in every lane up against Kansas. They're really starting to feel the heat here from the Golden Bears. Sapi has successfully defended out his lane. Those Siege Giants are not going to pay them back by continuing pushing it out. We do, however, have the heroics here from Kansas. So if we need to get into a fight, and we're very likely to see one on this next tribute, because if not, it's going to be the Golden Bears with a curse in and around the 8-minute mark.
Yep, and that will be a pretty early curse, certain to give them more advantage in this game here. Tribute is going to spawn soon. Something's got to happen here for Kansas State. They're both armed to the teeth, these teams here, the Wildcats and the Golden Bears. And they're starting to feel each other out here, these three players against the other three. Tribute is spawning in perhaps an advantageous situation for Kansas State, but that could actually turn around against them if they don't get there on time.
They're going to get caught with this transition. A good stun combo there from Chunkin, but now he himself is getting chunked down. The Diablo goes flying with that lightning breath, but you see the Devouring Maw ultimated, and Suppy actually really low on the hit points. Suppy not healing himself. Kansas Mafia up here has to try to deal with Fan. That's an advantageous fight for Fan as he was able to grab that takedown. And by the end of it all, it looks like it's going to be a 4-for-1 trade, and this is the curse anyways for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, well done there by Cal Berkeley. They got 4 takedowns there and got the curse. They will be able to apply pressure in every lane. Even during this, they can start to try and take down the Grave Column. Well, it will be attempted to be defended by Kansas State, but they don't have everyone here yet. They've got 3 to 4 members, and the others are lagging behind. They'll still start to push in. Suppy with almost no life to his name. He's running away, going into dark form, and gonna be able to get bonus movement speed.
Yeah, but Fan, he's going to be the big target now. There's way too much blue around him, and he will drop just to the combined damage here of Kansas State. But Chunking, again, is actually going to be the big target. Uther now into that ethereal form. He's going to be able to heal up Kansas Mafia, Adokun, and perhaps that Zagara that was now fleeing from the top. But at that point, we're just saying there's too many losses. We're not going to be able to stop this. Cal Berkeley does get that Grave Golem. It's going to be pushing down. And remember, blue team is cursed for another 10 seconds.
Yeah, three forts were actually down. We have a little bit of a delay here on something. We do apologize for that, but this gives us a wonderful chance to analyze a little bit what happened in that curse situation.
Well, again, like with that transition down, you said it was an advantageous position for Kansas State, and that means that the Tribute did actually spawn closer to their side of the map. Normally, you'd be right with that, but because of the positioning from Kansas State, a lot of them had to come down from the middle, and that middle is where they got hit hard by that Illidan, by Fan. Suppy was in there as well, and you just saw 4 takedowns was the result.
Yeah, give them 3 more seconds and they can funnel into that cavity there and set up fortifications, dig in and try and defend against that. But they didn't get that time. Why would the opponent give them that time? Cal Berkeley went in there.
Absolutely no reason to.
Absolutely no reason.
Now, we're here to win, guys. We're not here to just share the wealth. Only one team can move on to the Epic 8. And so far, I got to say, Cal Berkeley is really earning that top prediction spot.
Yeah, they're earning their reputation and their fear factor may be growing, as whatever fear was there can only be exacerbated by the illustrious performance that they have showed so far. During this curse, there was a fight over the Grave Column. Not only did it go to Cal Berkeley, but during that time, minion waves were pushing down every lane, and they took down a grand total of 3 forts, which makes a situation of 6 versus 3 forts.
It was a lot of infrastructure damage and a lot of experience that went into the pockets of Cal Berkeley on that. And now again, with that Grave Golem, it's going to be continually putting on pressure against Kansas State. It's level 14 to 12. We have another of those power-up tiers. That level 13 has been achieved by Cal Berkeley, which means going into a fight, they are definitely looking more powerful. They have more tools under their belt in order to get this job done. Does look like we're ready to get back into this, guys. So, without further ado, the Golden Bears once more, 14 to 12 against Kansas State, and they are going to go for the double Golem snag.
Yeah, they're trying to pick this one up as the first Golem is still pushing down a forced defense by Wildcats and Kansas State University. So they're getting the other one. It's gonna gently push down, or maybe not so gently, the top lane, and gonna pile a lot of pressure there on that top left as it will attack the gate at the keep.
Now you can see right there the far side coming out, so they know that there's going to be a Golem coming down this top lane. There's also an icon that they can measure as well. So going through there, you said it, there's no forts left as well. So this Golem is just going to start sauntering up to those gates at the keep, and it's up to the team here from Kansas to defend. Now they are responding very quickly. They are going to be able to bring this down very quickly and not really suffer too many losses. But because they're all 5 top and they're all 5 showing, Cal Berkeley knows that they can continue to dance around the map, achieving more objectives.
Yeah, it's the opportunity opportunity loss of not being able to be somewhere else, isn't it, Jester?
You cannot be in two places at once. It is
Yeah.
not possible.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's the smartest minds are trying to crack that problem. But the problem that the Wildcats will have to try and crack is how do they get back into this game? And a major fight is starting. So much damage. Cal Berkeley takes 3 people down right away. Sin Chunkin is left behind. He would like to go home, but he can't. Zenison all by himself. Lord of Terror indeed, but he cannot do a 1 versus 5. Cal Berkeley with a massive advantage here. 5 takedowns, and they will start to work on that keep.
Yeah, the Golden Bears, they're not afraid of this Lord of Terror. Lord of Laughter, more like it. He sees Zero. He's actually going to now put Zenison in a bad spot. Goes right through him with the power slide. Fan picks up the kill at the end of it there, and once more Diablo is out of this fight, taken out by this powerhouse team of the Golden Bears. Level 17 to 14, we have once again have another tier of power under the belts of the Golden Bears, and they are coming out strong.
Yeah, proud and smug faces everywhere from University of California, Berkeley supporters as they see what looks to be so far a landslide, not victory, but a landslide advantage. Bruisers were stolen from the Kansas State University, and now a tribute is spawning. Who is in a better position? Level 17 by Golden Bears against level 14 Wildcats, and they also have the advantage of position. They're going to start to capture it.
Oh.
And the Sentinel missed.
Yeah, it did, just by a hair,
Oh,
but it missed. And that's going to be, again, the next tribute into the pockets here of the Golden Bears. So that's going to put us back to 1-1. We did have, of course, that early curse. So now we have a little bit of breathing room in terms of there's 2 more tributes at least before we have to deal with another curse here from Kansas. And this time, they need to get as much experience as possible, or if they can grab a solo kill like on Zero, who's by himself, that would go leagues ahead in terms of improving their mentality and grabbing some great experience.
Yeah, any mistake here, indeed, just like you said, not only is it an advantage, but it's a bolstering of the mentality. So it's up to the Cal Berkeley not to give anything away. Don't give any freebies. Don't rest on your laurels. Now we are in a more calm phase of the game as we're waiting for the next tribute to spawn, and we'll give everyone some time to reflect and to see what they can do next. Okay, Zero will be caught here. 2 players are attacking Zero there, but he is a powerful character. Suppi was not far away. He's getting healed, and they will go back there. They've got the vision. The Siege Giants are there. This is what they're trying to contest over. Fan, he's gonna start it. I don't think he's expecting to just get it. What he's doing is he's trying to incite the opponent to try and steal it from him. But they are so ready. This is a smoke screen. Now he will actually capture it. Oh, no capture yet. Actually, Zenison will jump on it. He gets it. Devouring Maul. 3 members there. Zero and Fan by themselves. And yet, just by themselves, they will take down an enemy hero. It's a 3 versus 4 situation here in favor of Cal Berkeley. And what's happening here is that Zenison once again is all by himself. Oh, he actually gets a hero. Well done, Lord of Terror. Not so much laughter now, is it? But he is, after all, by himself now. He can take down 1. It was admirable, but he will be taken down. Oh man, Cal Berkeley is leading the charge here.
Absolutely. The Golden Bears, the Bear Cavalry coming in really strong. I mean, Fan and Ultimate on the back of that as well. Very few losses being suffered here by Cal Berkeley. They're looking for a keep, and we all know what keeps are going to be generating. It's going to be those catapults.
Yeah, this is a mechanism of the game that is designed to add extra pressure, to give advantage to those teams that deserve it. Every time you take down an enemy fort and keep in a lane, your minion wave is going to spawn with catapults. These catapults have a powerful attack that is really powerful against enemy minion waves, and they cannot be ignored for long. And this creates a distraction and more map presence for the other team, in this case for Cal Berkeley.
Now you're going to see here, guys, the Diablo player, Zenison. We actually do have to do a public apology to him because he was not listed on our roster. We had the wrong name, but Zachary Turwat playing out that Zenison. He is the sub here, and he did replace out a team member. We want to make sure that he gets the proper credit here, and I got to say, his Diablo, it's been pretty much on point, but the problem is that Cal Berkeley is just so far ahead. He's doing fantastic, but at the same time, the team overall is definitely looking taken a little bit behind. If they cannot take this Grave Golem either, Panda Jigu and Ultimate are going to come in here. There's the stage dive.
Zero jumps in, and that's the initiation. Panda Jigu will get taken down, but they get 2 takedowns for their efforts. Lightning breath there from Zachary Turward, but he will be taken out. As a team, they don't have the strength anymore to field a powerful defense against everything that Cal Berkeley is doing. And once again, man.
5-man takedown. I mean, there's nobody left to kill.
Yeah, there's nobody left to kill except the core. This is the objective in the end. You can take down as many heroes as you like, but you will win the game when you take down
and
the core.
And to add to it, another curse on the back of it as well.
Insult to injury,
Level
Jester.
20 at the 16-minute mark. Cal Berkeley coming out strong here on Cursed Hollow. That core does not have any chance of survival. And there's the 0%, and now the win. Fan, Suppy, Panda Jigu, these guys are really on top of their game. And I said, you know, it's up to Suppy to kind of impress me coming from that StarCraft background. But I gotta say, their team looked really in sync.
Yeah, they're living up to the hype, and that's no easy thing. It's easy to get the nerves jittering here, a little bit of quaking in your boots as they're playing for possibly one of the biggest stages that they've ever played for, at least for some of these guys.
I gotta say, like, you know, back in the day, if I was playing for my entire college career's tuition, man, like, I couldn't even imagine the nerves that I'd be under. But a lot of these players, they do have that competitive experience. They've been playing the game for a long time, and they have that practice. I gotta say, Cal Berkeley, though, they were on fire, but they're not done yet. It's going to be up to the Wildcats here from Kansas State to pick the next Battleground and show us what they're made of.
Yeah, let's see what their plans are here. They're going to be able to pick a Battleground. There's 0-1, so if they can choose a Battleground that suits them particularly well, they may be able to draw it out here and bring it to the rubber match. And at this point, they have to keep their composure and say, University of Cal Berkeley, you don't intimidate us.
Well, I mean, I think I'm a little intimidated as the caster. Let's see one of those big plays that really did put Cal Berkeley on the map in this match. I mean, level 10 to 12, this was the 4th tribute, and this was actually the possible match point. Again, everybody funneling into this small little area. They find Chunkin into the back there, Zero as well, and all of a sudden the team from Kansas is split. Zenison does not last. He goes flying off the screen. There goes the Uther as well. It was a great devouring maw from Barathor, but unfortunately it only had 1 takedown by the end of it. Fan was left to his own devices, and that was a great matchup for him. Down here as well, that was the 4-man takeout, and this was the curse as well for Cal Berkeley. Just some phenomenal coordination in play.
Yeah, there was not a big disparity between the two teams before that, but that really sealed a big advantage.
Because that was 3 forts, that was a Grave Golem, that was 4 takedowns. That's some really quick math for experience.
That's a knock-on effect.
Man, it was just a really good game for Cal Berkeley. But again, I'm not going to discount Kansas yet. This is their chance to shine with their next pick.
All right, they're going to be able to choose the next Battleground here, and then we'll go again to the hero draft mode. The next Battleground is going to be on Sky Temple, and they're going to be able to choose a draft there.
All right, guys, so when we do return, we're going to get that going for you guys. So when we do come back, game 2 of this best of 3, will it be the 1-1, or are we going to close out strong with a 2-0? You'll have to tune in to find out.